WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So I made some small modifications to the sorting system. Basically what I did was I had this pretty much the same. I removed all the ores, however, from here. So obviously ores won't be sorted here. Now it'll go down and then get sorted again if it can't. And here's the main thing I changed. All of these 5 first rows, they're set to lime. So what they do is that they go down and up into this sorter, which then sorts all of these raw materials so that they can be processed by the macerator, the centrifuge here, as well as the induction furnace. So it removes some of the complexity. Now, that means a few things as well. This thing over here, as you can see, is nice and simple in the fact that this is the only pipe leading to the machines. It's brought as it was before, going like that, so it goes around and into either these two or that. And the outgoing pipe, which is this one, is connected like that, and then it's sent under it and going off into the sorter over here so that it can get sorted brand new. Obviously nothing that can be outputted there can go into here, so it just bypasses that sorter altogether, which is a bit more efficient. Now I'm going to button this up by covering it, or at least most of it, up. We'll probably work on this later, but it's a bit of an eyesore, so we'll see how it looks after this is all covered. Be right back. Not bad at all. It actually does look pretty good having this stuff recessed in. Now obviously we're going to need more sorters when everything is said and done. This buffer pad should work, and it seems like there might be an issue with red power with the hitboxes, but that's not really something to worry about anyway. So now let's get into the bare bones that we're going to do this episode. Now the rotary macerator is very good in completing all of the maceration requirements in a very short amount of time. So it's probably 1 ore processing every 0.8 seconds? I think that's the math. Or rather 4 ore processing every 3 seconds. So that's pretty fast. Now it's also efficient in energy, which is also good. Now the problem that not really a problem, but just a small technicality, is the fact that obviously it cannot macerate diamond ore because we'd be screwed otherwise. But what we can do is pretty much this. Let's check the recipes that use diamond ore just to show what I mean. I haven't really told anything, but anyways, so alchemy doesn't work. Maceration, we get diamond dust. However, if we look at the industrial grinder, we can grind it up in 5 seconds and manage to get a diamond, as well as 6 tiny piles of diamond dust, which is probably what we're looking for. Now it also uses a water cell, but we get a cell back, and some hydrated coal dust, which is not really that much of a useful byproduct, but it kind of gets the job done. Now what I'm thinking is this. Instead of using this machine, what we could do instead is use that industrial grinder. So let's check the recipe of the industrial grinder, and like the industrial blast furnace, this is not the entire way to make it. Let's look. The industrial grinder requires a steel machine hull. That's easy. It requires some of the fancy circuits, a pump, which is easy enough to create, an industrial electrolyzer, which is a bit more difficult to create, as well as some of these gears. We need 3 of them, and each of these recipes produce 2. So 8 diamond dust, 2 diamonds, and we're going to need a whole whack of refined iron. So let's look for our diamonds. We might actually have 2 diamonds already out of the let's cut this diamond block because we're going to need something that we can get from these. So making all of the diamond panels, I think we need these 4 diamond panels, and we're gonna might as well get our bone saw. Throw in our stone cover. We're going to probably bring some of these raw materials with us because I just put them in because they were kind of useless at the moment. That'll be good, and we're going to need to keep 1 diamond plate, but these 3 diamond panels will give us some 6 diamonds, which is what we need. Now let's check our smelted ingots. We actually managed to clean at least one of our areas. So we got steel, we got even more steel. We'll probably use this a bit right now, but also we'll take the refined iron, some tin, some copper, and we might need some iron just because, and we might as well take some rubber while we're at it because we're going to do a bit of crafting. Okay, also we're going to need our diamond dust, so let's just hop over here and gather 8 diamond dust. That actually worked out quite well. So first of all, let's make the gear heads and 2 diamonds and these bits of steel. So we got 4 diamond grinders. Now let's look at the recipe again and work on the stuff. So we need 3 circuits there and 5 circuits, 6, 7, 8 electronic circuits in total. So let's craft our electronic circuits, and we are probably going to need some electrum. Do I happen to have any electrum other than these electrum ingots? Let's run over. I'm pretty sure I do. I must have. Electrum? Electrum! Yay! Okay, so we can use this electrum to our advantage. The crafting table is over here. I know. Shut up. So, let's start on the circuits first of all. We're going to need 4 sets of cables. And here we go. 4 sets. And then we'll turn these into circuits because it's Circuit City. And we obviously need to use the refined iron, our electrum. Here's some circuits, but we're going to need to make 1 more set. Okay, here we go. We'll make some more advanced ones later once we know how many advanced ones we need. There's 3 obviously there, and 5 advanced circuits. So we might as well change 5 of these into advanced circuits right away. And do we actually have any redstone ore with us whatsoever? We got enough redstone, so that'll be good. So was it 5, I think? Yes, 5. So let's make those. And I should probably have some sort of dedicated automatic, not an automatic crafting table because that's not what we need. But you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to might as well start by making the extractor. And we're going to need 3 machine blocks there. And we're also going to need another machine block. So 4 machine blocks. Yeah. No. I'm losing it. What the hell are you? Cylinder? Okay, I'll take your word for it. Apparently we can make some sort of cylinder, which actually I have no clue what that is. Okay, cylinder me. Cylinder is made with that I know, but what you're used in is nothing. You are currently not used in anything. That is very helpful. So let's get our grinder recipe up again. Let's make the pump first of all. We're going to need a mining pipe. Do I have mining pipe before? I thought I did. So let's actually do this in this project table because we can actually get our stuff together. And where the heck did I put my wood? There we go. How many are we going to need? We're going to need 5, 6, I believe, of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that we got 6, we'll just take those out of the way. And then first of all, we'll make our mining pipe. So 1 here. And this stuff is not needed. So mining pipe we'll need here and here. And we'll put that there. We're going to need to create some tin cells as well. So we might as well use our minium stone to our advantage. C, please. Okay, tin cells. Here we go. Tin cells to the rescue. And we'll place them here. And if we look at the pump that we're actually making, we need a circuit, a tree tap, and a machine block. So if we put this in the right order, which is unlikely to happen the first time. Wow, that actually happened the first time. Who would have thunk it? We got that. Now, industrial electrolyzer is going to require an extractor. And finally, we'll be able to get rid of our annoying tree taps, which we tend to have too many of normally. Okay, so let's cut the chit chat and let's make this. So we got an extractor. Let's sort, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, we got the pump, and we got the electrolyzer, which is going to need more tin cells. And what is it going to need? Electrolyzer, copper wires, machine block, and the last circuit that we have. Machine block and copper cables. Okay, here we go. We got the electrolyzer, and now with the electrolyzer and this, we'll have to combine them in the way that I keep on forgetting, which requires refined iron. Refined iron is here, and that's in the wrong place. We're going to need the advanced circuits, and oh, don't bloody tell me. Looking, waiting, advanced circuits, yeah, extractor, electrolyzer. Extractor, electrolyzer, machine block. Is it just not working? One moment. Okay, I have actually no idea why it's not working. I have the advanced circuits in, and that's fine. Maybe there's some glitch with it, but I have no idea what the issue is. So I have the refined iron in the 4 corners. I have the magnetizer. Okay, so let's actually make the magnetizer and then get home. Okay, I'll make that quickly off camera and then we'll be good. Because it is never that easy. Okay, now that we actually have our head together, let's put everything at least in the crafting grid for our perusal. We got that, and we'll just need to put those there. This diamond grinder we'll want to put in here for now, so that we'll use it later. And this mining pipe we'll not use, neither the empty cell, probably not. And copper cable has gone the way of the dodo, so we're going to just forget that all in its entirety. So we're going to need to make one of those advanced machine thingamabobbers. If we look in here, I am going to make an educated guess and say top shelf. Yes, got it. Okay, machine parts. And we should have enough for our future endeavors. No, we're going to need more. But instead of using the machine parts, should we use... No, we should have enough, actually. So I'll try to stop confusing you. So we'll get our... this looks like lead. So we'll get our steel ingots together, and we'll make one of our steel machine hulls, and we'll throw it in and get our industrial grinder. Now, obviously, this industrial grinder is not that easy. I'm watching you. As I was saying, this industrial grinder is not that easy. We're going to need to move quite a bit of stuff to be able to get anything. Let's see, does shift click work? There we go. And we just took our rotary macerator off so that we can figure out where everything will go. So let's see. this industrial grinder we will place here. And as you can see, there's an incomplete machine casing because, like the other machine over there, which is a blast furnace by the way, this requires machine casings. And this I'm actually going to move somewhere else, but we're going to have to figure out where the heck I'm going to move it. This is overcomplicated by the fact that I have one of those there, but we can't just move it over to the side unless we want to move that, or we can completely move all of our stuff in the favor of being inept. Going to think for a second because we need to have a large area. Other than this, we're going to need a 3x3 space so that we can place this right in front of it, like so. But obviously there's no easy 3x3 area, since when we place it, if we place it here, this stuff would need to move. But if we place it here, there's one less inventory space that we can operate at. One moment. Now, this machine is one of those machines where probably you don't really need to manually operate it. So what I probably will do instead is put it somewhere that it can go easily. You know, I should probably think more about this because I'm just spewing nonsense. Okay, let's put it this way. It's an industrial craft machine, albeit Greg Tech, but there's no point of putting it right into the sorting machine room, because this is probably not something that we're just going to use willy-nilly, in the sense that, hey, we're going to place it down, have the sorting machine do all of the hard work. So we'll place it as an industrial craft machine. We'll clear a bit more of this wall so that we can have a bit more room to work around, and then we'll be able to get everything, I think, satisfactory if we move some of these pipes around. Tubes, sorry. Clean your tubes. Okay, this should be satisfactory. Now, the industrial grinder is an interesting machine in the fact that you can have one industrial grinder attached to the machine casings, or you can have multiple ones connected. So up to 4, though one does work. Just having one will be satisfactory. So what I'm going to do is temporarily remove these tubes so that we'll be able to have some interesting stuff going. And I think I'll break down this stuff so that we'll be able to access everything that we need. Now, this will probably be immersed in the wall, because frankly that's how I roll. But we'll place it something like, if we place it here, I think it might be easy enough to access and everything. Though, if we place it there, it's not necessarily it'll be accessed by everything correctly. Now let's take that back, and instead of placing there, we'll place it, if we actually have some room, we'll place it here, and that might be good. Now it won't be able to get all the items. I want to... Now see, this is the problem with having the 2 rooms at different levels. You can never have it both ways, it seems. I'd like to have it level with this room, but I'd also like to have it level with the tubes in this room, which obviously is going to be a pain in the keister. So let's see if we can actually... I'll leave it here, and we'll probably just have the tubes go at a different angle. So we'll have these tubes go like this, and we're going to need to rustle up a few more covers. So let's make more covers, actually turn these all into covers, and we're going to need to expend some of our items because they kind of do not deserve to be in our inventory right now. We do not need a... We'll probably use a lever somehow. I'm sure there will be a point in this build where, I need a lever. Oh wait, I dropped one. Okay, so, getting our stone covers. Now let's look at the interface. Obviously, there's 3 main areas. there is the thing that it actually grinds up. So say our diamond ore we'll place there. We need water cells in this bottom one, and then there's the side inventory. So if you know, the default is that the items go in at the top. So let's actually do this. Let's actually make a stepping stone and stop saying actually so much. It's actually annoying. And I placed the cover at the wrong location. So take that off because it's supposed to be there. Put that on because that's supposed to be there. Okay, so the items will go into here. And we'll probably have some sort of system to determine whether or not they need to actually go in there or something else. Now I want to later on perhaps have the ability to decide which one I want to send the items in, but I guess I'll be... No, I see a way to solve that later. Okay, carry on. So we got the items to go in the side. Now we need a way to pull the items out, which is a simple enough thing to do. Just hook this up so that it'll go and be right at home. So we'll pull items out the side. Looking there, looking good so far. Now we need a way to get tubes, or rather not tubes, but the water cells to go back into here. So how we're going to need to do that is actually take out... actually that... Ooh. Sorry, brainwave, this is gonna be interesting. Let's see if we can formulate this. Now, I want to be able to use the same water repeatedly. That would probably be the best way to have this. Now, sorry, the same cells, because each and every single recipe spits out the cells again. It should be an easy enough endeavor to be able to use the same cells. So how we do that is probably get a deployer to refill the water in a 3x1 infinite water spring. But to be able to do that, we're going to need a filter here. We're actually going to need two filters. Filter, deployer, water, and a timer. Excuse me. Filter, deployer, and another timer. I'll get the filter, the deployer, and the timer, and then I'll be right back once that's crafted. Because, obviously, I am not that well prepared. Look at all those ingots. Nice and fresh. Okay, we got some water, and we're obviously going to need some more water than this, so I'll just place one of these for now. And who am I kidding? I'll go and get the other water. Apparently, tubes block water. At least we'll have some way to defeat Endermen if they ever come knocking on our doorstep. What am I talking about? That's completely ridiculous. We don't have doors. La 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 la. Water, water, la 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 la. Okay, plunk. We got that. Now it should be an infinite water source. Let's check that. Okay, good. Now let's place our deployer first of all, so we can block that dang flood. And we'll place it like that, and we'll probably just get this out of the way for good measure so that we can see everything. Now what I'm going to need to do is actually test this to see if it works. First of all though, let's actually place this here. And we're going to need to place this so that it only accepts tin cells. Now this will continually pull items out of everywhere, as you should know. If only there was some way to speed it up, maybe. Anyways, as I was saying, so it pulls items out of everywhere, and including the tin cells once they appear. So they'll be pulled, and then since this will be the shortest available entrance for tin cells, they'll be pulled into the deployer. So we're going to need to also test if this deployer works. So we're going to need to craft an entire stack of tin cells anyways. A stack and a bit. Let's actually just grab our tin quickly so that we can do such a feat. And then actually an entire stack makes a stack. Yeah. Sorry, half stack. Still, it's kind of bad. Okay, so we're going to have this filter pull items such as empty cells. And we're going to want this deployer to deploy. And it works. Maybe not the best, but it works, and we get water cells, which need to be pulled out, which we'll just take out with a filter, and that's not the right thing to use for the filter. Okay, we want to pull out water cells, and it probably doesn't matter what amount. Nah. Okay, we'll place this, and for fun, we'll actually use redstone. What's that? And we'll do this. Since it doesn't really go at that fast of a speed, I don't think it really Okay, apparently there might be a glitch with trying to place... Oh, hello there. Didn't see you there. There seems to be a glitch when trying to place a cover on this. So that doesn't seem like it's going to fly anytime soon. So let's actually place this over here instead. Since I don't... will that work? Why can't things be easy for once in my life? Okay. Or we could try placing the thing again, but who cares about that? Or we can just do some uncomplicated redstoning. Redstoning. Oh dear gosh, the puns. That won't work there anyways. Okay, so the filter can't go there, so the filter is going to have to go here instead, so that actually uncomplicates the redstone a bit. So I'll just place the filter here. Place the filter here. Turn it around the correct direction, and we're going to need to get out of here somehow. I'll find a way. And there is water there, and I kind of hate water that way. Okay, so we're also going to need to have the pipe go from here, so we'll place this preemptively because I know where this is going. And we're going to need to have, basically the filter is going to take the items out, and once again another preemptive strike, and we'll place the tubes down like so because the water cells will come out into this tube and go back into where they came from. Waha! Ha ha ha. I love my job, okay? Okay, so we're going to have to power this one easily enough. Yeah, I say easily enough, but I am getting kind of stumped here. I guess we can go for the normal redstone route and just pull it down, bring it around, and probably do some fun stuff with this. So let's place this here and pull the redstone down like so, and it should pull out items as well, and we should only want to get water cells because otherwise it's going to jam up the system with empty cells. Who would have thunk it? So we'll place these back, and eventually we should get some water cells in here, and we'll be able to start with our stuff. 2 seconds is good enough? I think so. So worst comes to worst, we happen to place a block here and it gets powered by redstone, which I guess could be a problem. Though frankly, I don't really care. But we wouldn't be placing a block there anyways because we need the machine casings there at any rate. So this seems like a perfect solution. Well, perfect is not a sentence I exactly use often because it doesn't really apply to me that much. So now that we have that little bit, all that we need to do is apply energy by bringing the cable up. It should accept, it says 128 EU per packet maximum, but this is currently 32 EU per packet, so it should be good, even though it's going to have to work on overdrive, but considering it's split anyways, I think we can manage. Unless we want to bring the cable all around just for this little box. Nah. Okay, so we're going to need to make machine casings. So let's get the case in point and figure out what we need. So machine casings. This needs in total 18 standard casings, and it's going to need 8 reinforced machine casings. So the standard ones require standard blocks, so refined iron and aluminum machine hull. Let's check the aluminum machine hull. It apparently requires aluminum and machine parts, but this is rather expensive considering. So we need 5 crafts of this. So that means we also need 10 circuits and 11, 12, 13, 14 circuits in total. Yikes! I wonder how our electrum crafting over there is going. So we need 14 circuits, therefore we need 14 electrum. I think we can get the electrum. If not, we can just craft our own, since it's not exactly the most difficult recipe in the world. Wonder if there's a skeleton waiting for me this time. Though there is... Oh, we got 18. Ooh, look who's getting ritzy now. Da-da-da. Okay, so we also have a lot of other stuff, including empty cells. Not sure what the empty cells came from, but no matter. Let's just place this down and get around and probably stop talking like some sort of old age hipster, or just someone who's old aged. I don't know, kind of messed up the two a long time ago. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so I already created the standard machine casings. Obviously we're going to have 2 to spare, which I guess we're going to have to live with anyways, and we're going to quickly make our other thing, which is going to actually require those machine parts. Machine parts, we need 2 of you, stat. And we're probably going to need some more steel for this once we get everything said and done. Done instead, I don't know what that expression is. Okay, so, and we are definitely going to need 4 more pieces of steel, actually. Thankfully, we do have steel in here. No, it's over here. We should probably move our steel and our other refined ingots over there, since, well, we might as well do that since, well, it's refined and steel and, oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Okay, so most of our steel we'll put in here. Yes, sirree. Here, here, tin also, and we'll get that as well. Here we go, and we got our machine casings, and that's great. So once we get this all sorted, and I believe we had cabling. Did I have my cabling somewhere? Yes, I did, over here. It wasn't over there. Okay, so cabling, check. We got our brain, finally, check. And we got our machine casing. So first of all, let's get our cabling down, and we'll bring it up like so, like this, and that's kind of, why did I do it like that? Hey, gimme, thank you. And we'll bring it up like so. I know it's not the most pretty thing imaginable, but whatever. And then we're just going to need to get our casings in the right order. So those, we got 9 of those. We got our advanced casings, and most important piece of all, we need a water bucket right in the middle. Entire bucket and everything. We'll get that. And how much do we have in here? We have 62, therefore we're just going to need 2 more. There we go. And there we go. They're now in the system. And finally, standard machine casings will go on top, and it should be ready to go. Ta-da! Okay, so let's look at the other end. The dot has turned green, and therefore this should be ready for operation. Now all we'll need to do is just simply put in our ore, and it should start processing its stat. And thankfully it does seem like we have enough energy. The other stuff should go and get deployed, which it does seem like is happening. I hope. I haven't seen any water cells go there though. Yep, we got still 2 water cells there. Let's see, did I actually forget anything to go in there? Or did it just somehow get requested automatically and nothing is happening? Wait. Insufficient energy line now. So something's pulling too much energy now. And I'm not getting any of this stuff in the filter. So let's check the filter. Filter is set properly. Though we're not getting anything, which is a surprise actually. So let's break ourselves out of here, out of our little hole. And I'm guessing there's an issue somewhere. Unless that's not the smallest distance. Or it's not pointing the right direction. Which it is though. And maybe it's just being retarded. Okay, so let's actually cut the wire for now. Let the thing build up energy. And we're going to have to look to see if it actually went down the purple line. Because if it did, that's where it needs to be. Okay, we got our empty cell. Our empty cell ended up here. And we got our diamond here. And we only have one diamond there. And we have an insufficient power line, meaning that we are out of power. So probably I can rectify it by once again breaking the cable going here. And we should start gathering enough energy, though that could be an unlikely happenstance. And now that we got energy, not going at a sufficient line. So we're going to need more energy. Or we're going to need it in a much better way than this. Maybe if we actually, instead of having this, we bring it to go directly by going over top and over around. Up, up, up. And we'll bring it like so. Maybe this will help a bit. Let's check. Okay, we're actually getting the power, and the cells are ending up in the retriever instead of the other area where I thought they were supposed to go, because the filter should be, unless the filter is closing because of the redstone, which I don't see why that would be the case. So let's actually, you see, this is the problem. Might actually, so maybe if we cut it and turn it so that it's different. Okay, first I'm going to just set the deployer so that we actually have our remaining cells. I think this is the amount that we needed. I'm not too sure. And we're going to have to reclaim our cells eventually. Probably get some more ores to test. But what I think I'm going to do is add a restriction tube here instead and see if that actually alleviates anything. Okay, so unless the way that the retriever works has changed, in which case I'm going to have to think of a different method by just having the filter over there instead, then sending it to the deployer, which might be the way we have to do things. So let's see, we got our 8 diamonds, that's good. We'll try working with our sapphire block to see if anything else works, and we got a tube. Hello there. Nice to see you dropping in. Okay, so let's check if this works. Okay, if the... let's just watch. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so probably the mechanics of how... no, it must be the retriever. The mechanics of how the retriever works has changed, unless that just cannot accept items because it's stupid, which is probably the case. Whichever the case is, we're going to have to break this power line. Oops. Huh. That, I must say, was a little unforeseen. Our centrifuge extractor has gone and blown up. let's take that off. Oh, I might have... That's my fault, that's my fault. That is definitely my fault. Well, that was a little unfortunate with how that happened, but at least it tells me that I am a complete knuckle brain and should learn how stuff actually works. Let's quickly change this so that the filter is there instead. It might need some little do-si-doing with everything, but we should be able to get it working relatively quickly. Not sure how breaking that energy line caused it to do that, but I'm guessing there's a way or will for a way or I don't know. Be right back. Okay, simply just putting the retriever over here should work. Let's just put that there. Sorry, not the retriever, the filter. So we'll have to get it after the fact. So got that, we'll connect it up. And this we're going to need to reconnect because we had to break it to get into this tight little space. No comment. And then we'll just put the energy cable here, here. And we're going to have to make that centrifuge extractor again. That's going to be a bit arduous unless we have our centrifuge extractor already up somewhere. But this should be working now. We'll have to see how it is. We got 61 energy cells. So let's find something to macerate. Rather, it's not maceration, but you know what? Ooh. We might as well take this and fill you up. We got the ore, good. So let's check. Watching, the industrial grinder is working. We got the copper, and we got the empty cell rather. Empty cell went in, good. And after a bit of time, we should be able to get the water cell back. There we go. Okay, that was good. Okay, so we got that working. Now, obviously, there's a bit of an issue here in the fact that we're missing a block, but we might be able to rectify that. I think we have an industrial centrifuge upstairs. Not industrial centrifuge. Centrifuge extractor. Nope. We're going to need to make another one of those. That's not too bad. We do have an easy way to make electrolyzed water cells, so we're just going to have to spend a bit of time and resources on making that. That's not too much of an issue considering what else we have already at the get-go, but currently we're going to just have to have everything accepting like this. Now the only problem I have with this system is the following. Let's actually go in and turn off that timer so that we'll be able to see this in action. Now, can we actually get to the timer easily enough? No, we can probably not. Hello? I want to be timer. Timer! Yay! Okay, let's just break you, take you, so that we can get another ore to show what the... And I'm stuck. Help! Let me out of this prison. I'll see you after I get out of this hole. And that was a perfectly good floor. Okay, so let's demonstrate once again with this piece of iron ore and throw it in. So after 5 seconds, we get iron dust, but we also get a tiny pile of tin dust and a tiny pile of nickel dust, as well as the empty cell. We're going to have to find an easy enough way to take all of those tiny piles and then convert them to the actual piles of resources, which we're going to need. There are 2 methods that we can use, probably. There's the easy, just use buildcraft auto crafters and have to make a big long line of that, probably with a sortron, or sorter rather, hooked up to this thing as well, and be a little long about that. Or what we could do is probably do a bit of an arduous task of trying to fit one of those, I think it's a factorization thing that actually turns all of the items that go into its inventory slot into the smaller items. but we're probably going to have to figure that out at a later time. Well, that is definitely all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. We have time here. Signing off. Curse you. Have a wonderful day.